Today I want to highlight perfumes that have a prominent or not so prominent note of caramel in them. And caramel is a note, for me at least, that sounds really delicious and yummy. But for example, I personally do not eat very caramelly candy or stuff like that. It's not my preference. And also a lot of caramel focused perfumes are not my thing at all. Actually, they make me kind of sick. And so I'm very happy that I do have some caramel perfumes in my collection that I like a lot or that I love and adore. And these are the perfumes that I'm going to show you today. I had quite a lot more to show, but that would be too much for this video. So let me know if you want a part 2. But with that being said, let's jump into the video. Let us start with my favorite actual caramel perfume that I have in my collection. And it was basically a rediscovery for me. This is Changing Constance by Penhaligon. It's from the Portraits collection. I have had this bottle for quite a few years and I liked it at first, but I didn't love it. And then I just forgot about it and I didn't wear it. And then last year I rediscovered it in my collection and I fell in love with it. I think it deepened up quite a bit. And now it's one of my favorite perfumes in my collection and I actually wear it a lot. So this is a sweet, spicy, gourmand, creamy scent with notes of cardamom and pimento, heart notes of just salted caramel, and base notes of vanilla, cashmere, and tobacco. And to me, this is like if you make caramel yourself and you put in some fresh spices, the fresh pimento, the fresh cardamom, and then you maybe put in some vanilla extract. This is what it smells like. It's so yummy, but it's not too sweet at all. It's very subtle, it's very smooth, it's very elegant. And that is what I love about this, because a lot of caramel scents are quite juvenile, very sweet, or they smell quite synthetic, and that is when I don't like them. And this is the opposite of that. It's just so refined. I never get a headache and it's just a beautiful scent. I also adore the bottles of this collection. It's not the longest lasting, I have to say. It's quite a quiet perfume, but to me, because of the strong caramel and sweet notes, it's perfectly fine for me. The next perfume is one that I just got a discovery set of, and it reminds me of one that I'm going to show you today as well. But with the other one, I'm not quite sure if it's still in stock, if they still sell it. But with this one, I'm very sure about it, that they still have it in their collection. So this is Vanilla Sky by Skylar. And it is not a very new concept of a perfume, but I just like how they did it. So this is a gourmand, sweet, floral, spicy scent with quite a lot of notes that are quite different from each other. So you have bergamot zest, cappuccino, and orange just in the top. Then you have the heart of cinnamon, jasmine, and vanilla, and base notes of amber, caramelized cedar, and sandalwood. And to me, it reminds me of black opium, but just more creamy, more smooth, more subdued, not as loud and extreme. It also reminds me of Private Show by Britney Spears and quite a lot of other perfumes that have this, I think all of them have this coffee thing about them, but it's not a ground black coffee. It's more like a sugared cappuccino with some florals, with something fruity, and then something more deep in the base. So they have basically everything and anything in them. And some of them I like the result of, and then some of them I do not as much. And with this one, it's just a very nice, easygoing perfume that is quite caramelly. So to me, it is more like a caramel frappuccino, but then you also have some quiet, nice florals. You have something fruity, but it's not too overwhelming for me. And what I love is that in here, the base does not have like a patchouli or like a very heavy, substantial note like a vetiver or something like that. It's an amber, and I love this kind of amber. It's very thick and sweet, and I like that kind of amber. I love cedar and sandalwood, and the sandalwood makes the perfume very creamy. It's a very creamy perfume in my opinion. And Skylar, of course, is not too expensive, so that's nice as well. Continuing with a banger, and that is Cheirosa 71 by Sol de Janeiro. And this is one of my favorite fragrance mists, if not my favorite ever. So you can see I used quite a lot of this perfume. It's so addictive. Oh my God, I love it so much. So this is for someone who loves their delicious, yummy, edible smelling perfumes. This is sweet, gourmand, and creamy, with top notes of vanilla, caramel, and sea salt, heart notes of roasted macadamia and white chocolate, and base notes of tonka bean and coconut blossom. I have shown you this fragrance mist so much. I always tell you, to me, it smells like freshly made popcorn with some macadamia nuts in there, and then you drizzle some white chocolate on top and some sea salt. It's so yummy, it's so edible, but it's never too much for me, which I don't really get, because all of the notes are just too much in my opinion. Like everything together seems like a lot, but it's just not. It's just very beautiful, very yummy, nicely made, and I'm just in love with it since the day I got it. And I love to layer it as well with some vanilla perfumes. I think is the best, and it just makes it more long lasting and a little bit more perfumey, because this is not the most perfumey fragrance mist that you can get, but I just love it. The next one is La Capitale from XerJoff, and this is a perfume that has a lot of fans because it is a strawberry scent that is supposed to be very unique and not your average, quite juvenile strawberry scent, if you know what I mean. And let me spray it. Yeah, so this is a very complex scent. XerJoff, of course, is known for their very complex, refined, luxurious perfumes, and this is no exception. So this is a sweet, fruity, gourmand scent with top notes of strawberry, caramel, labdanum, peach, and then you get quite a lot of deep notes. So in the heart, there's amber, leather, saffron, rose, ginger, and the base is benzoin, vanilla, and oud. So quite a lot of things happening here. If you know Byron perfumes, maybe the Chronic or Mula Mula, it's the same realm, the same concept, I think. This is such a beautiful perfume, and it sounds like it's so much, but it's just not. It's very, not quiet, but it's just toned down. Everything's toned down and so perfectly blended together. I love oud, but a lot of times it's just too loud, it's just too much. And also sometimes it can be boring because oud is a lot of times paired with similar notes, and in here it's just something else. The strawberry is very prominent. It's more like a synthetic type of strawberry, but I like it. And then you definitely get the caramel. It's like a caramelized strawberry that you maybe get at like a fair. And then you have this beautiful leather note that's very suede, like very smooth, very inoffensive, because a lot of leather notes can be a little bit tricky to me, especially combined with oud. Wow, it sounded like a lot, but it's just not. It's so refined. And then you do get a rose, but it's not your typical rose and oud combination perfume, as I said. It's so nice. It has a very good longevity, very good performance, and it's just something different, but still mass appealing enough that I would say a lot of people will love it. But it's going to be something different in their collection. The next one is the one I talked about before, which is Private Show by Britney Spears. I have the fine fragrance mist of the perfume because here you cannot get it anymore. And I'm not too sure if they still produce it. I got the fragrance mist because I was blind buying it and I wanted just to get a feeling of the perfume before I get the actual perfume bottle. So this to me is a even better version of the Skylar Vanilla Sky perfume, but they are quite similar as well. But this is my favorite rendition of those Black Opium kind of perfumes. So in the top, or first of all, the main accords are sweet, gourmand, creamy, fruity, floral. So basically, as I said, everything and anything in here, with top notes of coffee, clementine, and nectarine, heart notes of dulce de leche, orange blossom, and jasmine, and base notes of amber and musk. It could be that the clementine and the nectarine are so beautiful on the top. They make it such a happy perfume. And then also the base, again, doesn't have patchouli or vetiver or other types of very heavy, strong base notes that ruin fragrances for me. This is just so beautiful, so creamy, so light and airy. Of course, there's no actual caramel in here, but dulce de leche basically is caramel. Caramelly. Let's say caramelly. But it does smell like caramel in here. And it's just one of my favorites. It's so beautiful. The performance of this fragrance mist is not good. But to me, and I don't know if you can see it, I used quite a lot of it. I like to have it as a bedtime perfume because to me it's so comforting and so cozy and beautiful. I will definitely get the full bottle of it. I like the bottle actually as well. I can recommend it. I'm a fan of good celebrity perfumes, and Britney Spears has so many perfumes, and a lot of them I do like, and this is one of them, which I actually kind of love. Next up, we have a perfume called A Whiff of a Waffle Cone by Imaginary Authors. And this is a niche perfume brand, and they did a collaboration, I think, with a ice cream shop. Because of that, this perfume was even more inexpensive than their main line. But I'm not too sure. I think this one got discontinued, this version, and they brought it out again, but in their main line. And now it is the exact same price as all the other perfumes. I think that's what they did. I'm not too sure. I think the perfumes are still the same or very similar to each other. A Whiff of a Waffle Cone is such a fun scent. The idea was basically to have a perfume that smells like the entire ice cream shop, like everything in there. And so you have fragrance notes of vanilla, cream, orgeat, a syrup, a kind of syrup. I don't know what this syrup is. Salted caramel, amyris, and cinnamon. The main accords are sweet, gourmand, spicy, creamy, smoky. And the thing is, in my opinion, this version, and I also think the newer version, maybe even more, does smell like someone has been burning the freshly made waffles. Like some ice cream shops make their ice cream waffles cones themselves, right? And to me, it smells like someone let it burn a little bit. Not too much, but just like a slight burn. And then you get a creamy, basic but nice Bourbon vanilla ice cream. And that is what it smells like. It's creamy, it's definitely vanilla heavy. You get this burnt salted caramel feeling. And then it is quite spicy, almost a little bit peppery, but I guess it's the cinnamon, I'm not too sure. But it's such a nice concept, and there are so many perfumes that say they smell like ice cream. But to my surprise, they usually don't really, or they smell very synthetic, and I don't like it at all. And in here, to me at least, it doesn't smell synthetic at all. It's very authentic, but you have to like smokiness to like it. It's not just a vanilla ice cream and waffle cone type of scent. It is quite smoky. Then we have HEB from Zara, and it is called Rose Gourmand. And this is a perfume that smells quite similar to Intense Café by Montal. There's Roses Vanille by Mancera. Also in the same kind of area as Gentle Fluidity Gold by MFK. So this is a sweet floral, gourmand, creamy scent with notes of rose, caramel, carnation, jasmine, peony, vanilla, and amber. I have the small version of it because I do have Intense Café and I do have Gentle Fluidity Gold, so I didn't need a big bottle of it. But this is actually a very beautiful alternative to it. It's very elegant. To me, it's a very elegant version of it. Yeah, so even a little bit more elegant maybe than Intense Café. So you have this rose in the center, and you have to like your roses, but then it's sweetened up with a quite thick caramel. It's not a very light and airy type of scent. It's quite substantial, let's say. And then you have the carnation, the jasmine, and the peony, all very light and fluffy in the background. They are all mixed together very nicely. And then you do have this vanilla that is quite subdued, but you can detect it. And this is what it smells like to me. So it's mainly a floral scent that is sweetened up with caramel and some vanilla. It's quite simple, but still very unique. And as I said, very elegant. And for a Zara scent, it's very long lasting. So it's appropriate for the office as well. It's something you can wear every day, but it's still unique enough that it is special occasion appropriate, if you know what I mean. I like it a lot. Then I have two perfumes by Sora Dora, and I guess they like the note of caramel a lot, because when I researched which caramel perfumes I have in my collection, I saw so many of their perfumes having caramel in them. My favorite caramel perfume from the brand is Brocéliande, which is a sweet, citrus, spicy, gourmand scent with a lot of notes. Caramel at the top, and then cinnamon, lemon, lime, ginger, bergamot, rum, vanilla, castoreum, coriander seed, sesame even, civet, iris, styrix. Seems like a lot, but it's actually not. It's a very, oh my god, I love it so much. This, if you like sweet lemony scents, like a lemon tart, lemon dessert, lemon panna cotta, something like that, you will love it. It's like that, but a little bit more niche in my opinion. It has some depth. There are a lot of animalic notes in here, as I just told you about. It just gives it something special, something unique. First of all, the lime is so prominent in here, reminding me of my beloved Virgin Island water. But then you have this lemon coming in, the bergamot, you get this rum thing going on. So I would say they are like second cousins, Brocéliande and Virgin Island water. It goes in the same direction, but then you get this caramel coming through, and it's very thick and quite sweet. Also the vanilla in here, and then you get something almost nutty from the sesame maybe, and the cinnamon gives it some spice. I get a lot of ginger in here as well. It's very interesting to me. Still mass appealing and easy to wear, but it's just something different to a lot of those sweet lemony scents coming out. There have been so many releases like it when you talk about those sweet lemony scents like Devotion, Bake, Lemon Tart, and so many more. But this is just a more niche version of it. Also, performance, as with most of their perfumes, is very good. The next one is quite a different perfume because it is a very summery caramel perfume. This is from Lancome. It's from the Idôle line. Idôle L'eau de Parfum Nectar. And this is a sweet floral fruity perfume with notes of on top caramel and popcorn. You heard it right. And then in the heart you have 3 different kinds of roses, and then the base you have vanilla. So it's so beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of my beloved Good Girl blush by Carolina Herrera, but the other one is just different enough for me. This is a little bit more simple. So first of all, it's a rose perfume. It is very rosy, but then because of all of the sweetness, it gets so modern and so happy and fun. You do get the caramel and the popcorn, but you also get the vanilla. You get every single note in here. It's simple, it's beautiful, and you can wear it throughout spring and summertime, no problem. Can be an everyday scent, an office scent, and it's just an easy grab for me. I love the Idôle line so much. The next one is, in my opinion, quite an underrated perfume. I don't really hear too much people talking about it anymore, at least. It's Chocolate Queen by Navitus, and this was created in collaboration with Gabby, who is a fellow YouTuber. And I love the concept so much, and also how they made a gourmand scent that is just perfumey enough to be enjoyed by basically anyone. So I'm not too sure about the notes because I smell so much more than what I read here. So the main accords are sweet gourmand, creamy and woody, with quite a lot of notes. In the top you have dark chocolate, hazelnut and dulce de leche. Sounds yummy. In the heart, chocolate fudge, Irish cream, caramel, and bitter almond. And then the base you have pralines, vanilla, amberwood, and sandalwood. I don't know what it is, but I smell something floral. And it reminds me a little bit of Exalte by Funmi Monet. It also reminds me of Rose Gourmand, Intense Cafe, those type of perfumes. Like something in here reminds me of all of those perfumes and their floral aspect. So it almost has something like a peony or like something rosy in there that just makes it a lot more elegant and perfumey, as I said, because all of those notes that I just read to you are very gourmand and they sound very heavy and just like a lot. And it's not at all. It's a very light and airy scent, reminding me a little bit of the Changing Constance, the concept, how it is made up. It's very light and fluffy, blended so smoothly and so beautiful. So what does it smell like to me? It mostly smells like chocolate fudge with caramel on top, and then maybe almost like a milk on the side. It's quite milky, creamy. It has something nutty in there. I wouldn't say I smell hazelnut, but it's a little bit nutty. And it has some deepness in there as well. And then, as I said, I get this very creamy floral. I don't know what my skin pulls from there, but I love that aspect about it. And yeah, so I'm so happy with this perfume. I think it's such a beautiful addition to my collection, and I think it's so nice because it's not just a edible smelling perfume. It does have the perfumey aspect, and every time I wear it, I get a compliment from someone. So I like it a lot. Then we have a perfume that, if I read to you the notes, you will think of another one I just talked about. So this is Unknown Pleasures by Kerosene. Kerosene is one of my favorite niche perfume houses. I think what I did smell from them was very unique, very nicely made, and I just like it. So I will spray it on here because I don't have a lot left. But this is a Gourmand sweet citrus spicy creamy scent with notes of lemon, waffle cone, vanilla, bergamot, caramel, Earl Grey tea, which is why I ordered it, honey, and tonka bean. So this is like, it mixes two perfumes I showed you. It's like it's mixing Sora, Dora, Brocéliande, and a whiff of a waffle cone together. And that is what I basically get. It's not exactly that, but you get what I mean. This is a very citrus heavy scent that has something smoky to me. And I think it's the Earl Grey tea, which is not the most smoky tea, but still I get something like it. Then you have quite a thick and sweet honey note, and the waffle cone I do get. I don't know if I would say I'm smelling waffle cone if I didn't look up the notes, but if I know the notes, I think I do get the waffle cone thing about it, and it is quite caramelly, and I think the caramel mixes everything together so beautifully. And this is quite a strong perfume actually, and for a citrus heavy spring and summer scent, I would say, I like the performance a lot. So if you like devotion as well, I do feel like the lemon in here is very similar to Devotion, but that one is just much more simple. And this is a lot more niche, a lot more complex, and I like it a lot. And the last one for today is by Lattafa. So it is an Arabic perfume called Abiyedh Poudree. And I just showed you this perfume when I talked about all of the new Arabic perfumes I ordered. And this one was actually my favorite. So this is a powdery, sweet, creamy floral scent with notes of rose, saffron, caramel, patchouli, and amber, vanilla, and oud. I basically don't get any of those notes. I don't know what I'm smelling, but I just smell something different. To me, it smells a little bit like Dama Bianca by XerJoff from the Casamurati line. It also reminds me of Black Tie by Celine. And this is just such a light, elegant perfume. It screams like ballerina to me. It's like a sophisticated, elegant ballerina that is wearing this perfume. It is powdery, but it's not overly powdery. I have this powder for the summertime to like dry down the body. That smells kind of similar to it. So you have this powderiness to it. But then you get this beautiful caramelly amber and the vanilla. I don't get patchouli, I don't get oud. Maybe I get like a fluffy, airy saffron, similar to Baccarat Rouge by MFK, that kind of saffron. And the rose, not really. It is floral, but I wouldn't say this is a rose perfume. It's like a fluffy cloud of caramel, florals, maybe some hints of vanilla and amber and... Did I say caramel? Caramel. I love it. I actually like it a lot now. I actually love it. I love it. So these were all of my picks for caramel scents I adore and that I would recommend to you if you're maybe the same as me and a lot of caramel scents are too much for you, too synthetic, and you maybe want something more subdued. Let me know, as I said, if you want a part 2, and of course, let me know which other caramel perfumes you would recommend to me, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!